Welcome to the Smart Weight Loss Coaching Podcast. I'm Dr. Lisa Olson, a board-certified weight loss medicine specialist and certified life coach. In this podcast, I'll share fresh insights and effective techniques for incorporating mindset, habit change, and proven science into your life. Are you ready to achieve sustainable weight loss, wellness, and longevity? Then let's jump in and lose weight the smart way. Welcome back. The health problem I'm about to share is not the worst thing in the world, but despite that, it hit me hard. I definitely visited all 7 stages of grief after learning about it, starting with shock. Have you heard of the psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross and her 5 stages of grief? In recent years, the 5 stages have been expanded by David Kressler to include 7 stages, which are shock, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, testing, and acceptance. So although my problem truly isn't tragic or imminently life-changing, let me explain to you why I'm crawling through these stages. It has to do with my thoughts. About 2 years ago, my blood sugar started climbing and I crossed the threshold into pre-diabetes. It's actually taking me a lot of courage to share that with you here. That's when I entered stage 1 of grief, total and utter shock. Actually, shock and denial danced together for a while because I didn't really believe it could be possible. My reaction might seem exaggerated. After all, it's only pre-diabetes, but I care so much about my metabolic health and I work so hard to enhance and preserve it. This hit me like a ton of bricks. I have a BMI on the low side of normal. I eat really well, exercise regularly, and make a serious effort to address all of the lifestyle factors that can improve my health span. I eat a highly plant-forward diet, not entirely vegan or vegetarian, but I focus on plants, and plants. I avoid and nearly abstain from ultra-processed ingredients, and I've avoided plastics and other chemical exposures long before that topic hit the New York Times. I cut way back on my alcohol consumption in the past couple of years, and I work on managing my stress and increasing my social connections in a deliberate effort to be healthier. I really felt like I was doing everything right. Not in an orthorexic or health-obsessed way, but in a health-conscious way that felt proactive and engaged. After confirming my blood sugar test results more than once, I shifted into anger. How is it possible that I can work harder on prioritizing my health than almost anyone I know, and still I keep landing on the wrong side of the cutoff for pre-diabetes? As my daughter used to say when she was younger, for the first time in my life, I caught myself thinking, it's not fair. And when I wallowed in the thought, it's not fair, I did absolutely nothing to try to solve my blood sugar problem. I felt powerless and I acted powerless, as if any effort was futile anyway. Then I bargained, felt defeated and sad, tried tightening up a little bit here and there on various things that I was already doing pretty well, and I started to slide into acceptance. But acceptance didn't feel quite right to me either because it felt like giving up. When I caught myself in this giving up frame of mind, I decided it was time to push back. I went to the basics and started digging deeper into things that impact our metabolic health. Sure enough, I found something I had been missing. I'm curious, did you already catch what I'm not prioritizing? What I didn't mention as a core part of my health routine? It's sleep. Sleep. When I recognized this, I slipped back a few stages to the anger stage. Anger at myself for somehow thinking sleep didn't matter that much for me because I did so many other things right. It turns out I'm not alone. About 1 in 3 Americans suffers from inadequate sleep, and that number is even higher among certain professions, like entrepreneurs, senior managers, hospital employees, shift workers, and among new parents, of course. Many of us give lip service to the importance of sleep, but we still treat our busy, overbooked schedules like a badge of honor. According to a study published in 2024 involving over 172,000 adults, men who get adequate sleep live about 5 years longer than men who don't. And women who get enough sleep live about 2.5 years longer. That really caught my attention. Sleep and longevity are linked. This is an enormous study with convincing evidence that we can live significantly longer if we simply go to sleep regularly and on time. If you're trying to lose weight and prioritize your health and longevity as a goal for 2025, I invite you to lean in because for many of us, increasing sleep duration and regularity is a pretty easy intervention with a major impact. We know that our brains and bodies need sleep to function, to clear out the toxins that accumulate during the day, and to repair and restore our cellular equilibrium. According to the Mayo Clinic, about a third of adults cut sleep short, raising their risk of heart attack, diabetes, and weight gain. In one study they published, participants were limited to only 4 hours of sleep per night and ended up consuming about 350 calories more the following day. That's because insufficient sleep impacts our ghrelin and leptin levels, which are important hormones regulating appetite and fullness cues. Even worse is that not only did the folks in their study eat quite a bit more, but they also shuttled that excess weight into belly fat, known as visceral fat. This is the most dangerous place to store our fat. Visceral fat causes inflammation and is associated with serious health problems, including metabolic syndrome and diabetes. Now you can see why this sleep data is grabbing my attention. This and other research tells us that insufficient sleep contributes to higher blood pressure, higher rates of cardiovascular disease, prediabetes, and diabetes. It can even raise the risk of Alzheimer's disease, which has been called type 3 diabetes because it's so closely impacted by our metabolic health. Poor sleep quality, insufficient sleep, and irregular sleep impact our cortisol levels and our insulin sensitivity. Basically, if you're not sleeping at least 7 hours a night, you may be on a path to becoming a metabolic mess, which is how I felt when I got my blood sugar results. In one study published in the Journal of Diabetes, it was shown that men without diabetes who slept for less than 6 hours per night had a twice higher chance of developing diabetes, even after correcting for confounding variables. In another article published in JAMA Internal Medicine in 2022, researchers took overweight subjects who regularly got fewer than 6.5 hours of sleep per night. After a 2-week habitual or regular sleep period to establish a baseline, half of them were randomly assigned to be a control group and the other half to an individualized sleep hygiene counseling session that was designed to increase their sleep, which it did by almost 1.25 hours per night on average. What they found is that the sleep extension group that was getting about 7.75 hours of sleep per night on average had a significant decrease in the number of calories they consumed without any change in their calorie burn. And because they ate less while getting the same amount of activity, they lost weight. Based on the observed weight loss during this short trial, the authors of the study estimated that their model would predict a 26-pound weight loss over 3 years, simply from increasing sleep from 6.5 to almost 8 hours every night. My overwhelming thought is that this sounds easy. I mean, you have to be patient to see the impact of about 8 or 9 pounds per year of weight loss add up. But going to sleep 1.25 hours earlier is absolutely doable for most of us, and definitely for me. Like many of you, my biggest barrier to sleep is sometimes simply putting away my laptop or phone and turning off the lights. The data on screens and sleep is concerning. And so now that I'm all in for more sleep as a pre-diabetes intervention, I'm starting with a plan for my bedtime And I encourage you to do the same, whether you're looking at sleep for longevity, weight, sugar, or even productivity purposes. In my Smart Weight Loss Coaching Group program, we talk about the fact that the biggest impact in daily motivation comes from having a sense of progress. But sometimes we have to create that progress when the scale or lab test results don't provide an immediate reward. You're not going to instantly see a huge change in your weight or blood sugar from getting more sleep, but you can create that feeling of progress and enhance daily motivation by tracking your sleep and giving yourself some sort of acknowledgement when you hit 7, 7.5, or 8 hours of sleep, or really any amount that's higher than your baseline. For me, that's as straightforward as putting a little smiley face in my tracking notebook. It sounds corny, but it works for me. Find a way to track your progress as you work toward a healthier quantity and quality of sleep. It's time to talk about your NBA, your next best action. For me, it's obvious. I'm such a believer in the data about the benefits of tracking for habit change, and I'm super excited to use sleep as a way to manage my weight, blood sugar, and insulin levels. I know myself. The act of tracking alone is enough to get me to sleep more. Knowing that I'm going to be tracking my progress, I'll put my phone or computer down by 10 p.m. and I'll turn off the lights by 10:30. How about you? Maybe your MBA involves tracking your sleep, creating a sleep plan or ritual, or simply putting your phone down earlier. If you'd like to learn more about sleep and its impact on your weight and health, your MBA might be to join us at Smart Weight Loss Coaching, or to check out episodes 53 and 60 of this podcast for some other thoughts on sleep, weight, blood sugar, and health. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like more support during your smart weight loss journey, check out our group coaching program at smartweightlosscoaching.com. Until next time, stay well and stay smart.